Hello, I am Chef Mohit Kakkar from Atharva College of Hotel Management, and today we will be preparing chicken croquettes. Let's start with the recipe. We'll start off with heating up our pan. We'll add a little bit of oil in it. We'll let this oil heat up a bit. Okay, so we'll add in a little bit of onions. So this is finely chopped onions. We want it to be finely chopped so that when we shape our chicken, we don't want any of the onions coming out of it. So finely chopped onions is what we need. So slightly cook it. We don't want any browning. In cooking terms, we call this translucing, where the onions get slightly transparent. A little bit of garlic. Again, we'll just saute the garlic so that the aroma of the garlic is released. No, we don't want any color in the onions, nor any color in the garlic. Just the flavor of the onion and garlic should start to release. Okay, and after that, next what we are going to do, we are going to add the chicken. Okay, so the chicken that we have over here is chicken minced, slightly chopped up chicken. Okay, just mix it up well. Okay, once the chicken is almost cooked, what we got to do, we got to bind this chicken. And for binding it, we will use bechamel sauce. So this is what we need to bind it. Really simple bechamel sauce. Okay, so we'll add maybe a couple of spoons of bechamel sauce in it. Now this is a very thick bechamel sauce, so the quantity of flour is slightly more. Now you can add potatoes to this. No, but then potatoes is going to dilute the flavor of the chicken. No, or reduce the flavor of chicken. We don't want that to happen. So we'll add something like a bechamel sauce which has a very neutral flavor. Now it will help the chicken flavor to speak aloud. Okay, so we've got our mixture getting ready. What we will do, we'll add a little bit of salt. We'll take not a lot of salt because we are going to be adding cheese as well to it. Okay, so we'll maybe half a spoon of normal salt, table salt. Okay, you can see this mixture is getting thick. That is because the bechamel sauce is binding the chicken together. This is what we want. This is what is going to help us in creating the croquettes. What I have over here is Parmesan cheese. Okay, so grated Parmesan cheese is going to go into it. It will further enhance the flavor along with giving it some thickening and binding powers. Okay, so a little bit of Parmesan cheese as well. Okay, so a little bit of Parmesan cheese, you mix it, and if you have to see this mixture now, it has got quite thick. Now if you have to drop it, it drops or it just falls off. It doesn't, now it's not very runny. This is what we want. We want this mixture to be thick so that when we form it into balls, it holds its shape. This is what the idea is all about. You know, another trick that you can do, another trick that can be done is the addition of little bit of breadcrumbs. That will further enhance the thickness of. So we can add a little bit of breadcrumbs as well. So we'll take half a spoon of breadcrumbs. Okay, and if you have to, you don't need any more cooking. No, it's done. Okay, the mixture is ready. The mixture is ready now. We will have to let it cool. Only once it is cooled, we will be able to form it into balls. Okay, so we'll take this out. We will put it in a plate and we'll put it in the refrigerator so that it cools. So we'll take it out in this plate. Okay, so this mixture that is there will be going to the fridge now. Not for a long time, maybe 10 to 15 minutes so that it settles down. It's much more easier for us to handle because it's quite hot now. Okay, so maybe 15 minutes and then we should be back. Okay, so now we'll prepare the crumbing station so that once the chicken is out from the fridge and it is shaped, we are able to crumb it very quickly. Okay, so for that we need eggs. Okay, so we'll take the eggs and we will crack it in this bowl. We'll just mix it up. We will also need a little bit of breadcrumb, normal refined flour. Okay, so these three ingredients become part of our crumbing station. Eggs seasoned with salt, breadcrumbs and flour. So what we'll do, we'll take some flour and we'll just put it in this plate, so that it becomes easier for us to crumb. Again, we will season this flour, little bit of salt, and for the breadcrumbs, we will add little bit of Parmesan cheese. Okay, so the breadcrumbs is seasoned with Parmesan cheese, the egg with salt, and the flour with salt. So we'll give this a mix. We'll give this a mix as well. And we are ready for crumbing the chicken. Okay, we've got this chicken out from the fridge. It is quite cold. It is much more easier for us to shape. So we'll shape it into small balls. So just small balls. You can get around 7 to 8 small croquettes from this amount of chicken that we have, and we will put it in the flour. Okay, once we are shaped it into balls, what we'll do, we will just dust it in flour and we will dip it in the egg. Now we need to dust it in the flour so that the egg, it sticks to this chicken balls that we have, and we will put it in the egg mixture. Okay, now once this chicken balls are in the mixture of eggs, just coat them evenly so that it has egg on each and every side, and then it goes into this crumbs. Okay, it will go into this crumbs. Okay, once we have put it in breadcrumbs, just roll it around so that the breadcrumbs can get evenly coated. Take some in your hand and coat it. Now you can even shape it at this stage, and we'll put it in our plate. Okay, so the rest of the chicken would be crumbed in the similar way. Chicken balls are all ready. They are ready to be fried. So we will keep them aside and we will start heating up our oil, so that we can fry it. Okay, now the oil is nice and hot. What we are going to do, we are going to drop these chicken balls into this hot oil so that they are coated and fried and golden brown in color. So be careful while putting it in so that the hot oil don't splash on you. It's going to be quite hot and the chance of burning is quite high. So if you can have a look at this, it is becoming golden in color. Slight cooking is still required. So we will continue to cook it till it turns nice deep brown in color. Keep turning it around so that it doesn't stick to the bottom. Okay, so now you can see the color, it's almost there. It has got a nice brown color to it. I think so in another 30 seconds or so it should be ready. Okay, now these chicken croquettes are fried. I have put them in this paper napkin so that the excess oil can be absorbed. And so we'll keep them aside and we'll get ready for our plating. Okay, so now what we'll do for plating, now we'll prepare something that is called as a Parmesan crisp. So we'll take some grated Parmesan and again we will just sprinkle it on this non-stick pan. Okay, so we'll just sprinkle some of this Parmesan cheese on this non-stick pan so that it will melt and then it will turn into a crispy Parmesan chips. Okay, so we'll have to cook it till it starts to melt. Okay, so we've got Parmesan melting, and now very gently with the help of your spoon, now we will have to release the edges. Okay, we'll start with plating our chicken croquettes. For that I already have some roasted bell pepper puree ready. It is bell pepper that has been roasted and it has been ground into a very fine puree. It has been strained and it is very smooth. What I also have is a little bit of herb mayonnaise. So these are herbs with mayonnaise and it has been again ground into a fine paste, and we've got this lovely green color herby mayonnaise with us. And this is our chicken croquettes. So they are all ready to be plated now. We'll start with this red pepper coulis. Okay, so we'll just take a spoon. Again, we'll not go for some really fine plating. We'll just randomly just spread it on our plate. For the croquettes, we'll add little bit of mayonnaise in this, now so that it helps the croquettes to stay in place. And we will keep it in this, so now the croquettes are nice in the center. They will not move even if we move the plates. Now we'll make dots and simple garnish the Parmesan chips. And we have our dish ready. chicken croquettes, pepper coulis and mint mayo.